Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we're going back to space to continue to find new stars, explore new worlds, collect valuable resources like energy, and secure allies to gain the most ground in our ever-expanding empires. However, this time there's new options available to you. Horizons Extermination is an expansion to Horizons that I've already done a rule school for, and you need to have the base game of Horizons in order to play this expansion. It adds 3 different modules that you can play individually with the base game, or add in as many as you wish, or even all 3 of them simultaneously. Today, we'll be doing a rule school where I'll teach you how to set up and play the expansion so that you don't have to read the rulebook yourself. I've placed timestamps below me in the description of this video, just in case you want to jump to a specific section of the rules. Without further ado, let's get started. Horizons Extermination is a 3-module expansion that you can add each individually or play them simultaneously. There's new starter tiles that allow things to work differently around them on those world tiles, like gaining more resources than normal, having more control, only having a certain amount, or having certain worlds that cannot be placed around those stars. There's 5 new ally cards to correspond with the 5 different actions throughout the game, and these are more aggressive, like destroying other players' colonies, forcing other players to discard their mission cards, replacing players' colonies with your own, and replacing metal or energy collectors of other opponents with your own. There's also 5 new starter allies that you secretly get at the beginning of the game and choose between that or one of the standard allies. This makes the game even more asymmetrical than the base game. This expansion introduces 3 new modules to add to Horizons, and you can add them each either individually or play with any combination of them or with all of them simultaneously. 2 of those 3 modules have to do with new ally cards, so let's talk about those. First, we're going to talk about the Viliox Allies. Now you'll know these because there's 5 of them, and just below the large name, it will say Viliox on all 5 of these, and there's 1 card for each of the 5 different actions, and you'll notice, just like all other non-starter allies, on the backside it has a discard, not a trash symbol, because these are non-starter allies. Now how to set them up is the same as the base game. You would just add them to the corresponding stack with the corresponding action. You would actually shuffle this in. I have them all on top, these new ones, just to show you, but you would shuffle them into the corresponding stack just like a normal setup, and they get used in the normal way as the other non-starter ally cards. So let's show you how some of these work. This one says pay 10 of any resources to replace 1 colony. To replace a colony, let's say we're the white player. We could take any colony on any of the worlds that are anywhere in the game. So let's say we want to replace this one. This one we would give back to that player, and they would put it back on their colony section of their player board, and we would replace it with ours. Now, if you do not have any colonies left, you cannot take this action, and this player, the white player, does not need to have an active world marker for the world that it is replacing. This one says you can discard 3 allies to flip any world you occupy. Occupy is a world that has at least one of your structures on it, so we could just play that, and we could flip that. That's how that works. This one says you can pay 2 knowledge to destroy any 1 colony. So let's say we wanted to destroy this pink one, and this would get taken off, and it is removed from the game and put back into the box. This one says pay 4 of any resources, which again is metal and or energy, to replace 1 metal collector or energy collector. Replacing is the same as I just spoke about with the colonies, so you could replace one of those like that. This would go back to that player's board. And the last one I haven't talked about is you would pay 1 knowledge, and all players must discard 1 of their mission cards. Now let's move on to the next module, which is the alternate starter allies. Here are the starter allies that are normally given in the base game, and here are 5 new ones that are alternates. Each player will still get 1 starter ally as normal, but then each player will secretly and randomly be given 1 of the 5 alternate starter allies. Now at the end of setup, meaning the last player has placed a world tile on the last open star, and they've activated the active world marker of their choice, players will then select to either use the standard one or the secret one they're given. Whichever one they don't use gets removed from this specific game. Now this one here allows you to gain 1 resource of any type for each world in play matching the world that you explored. So I explored, I activate this, Let's say when I explored, I put it just like this, and because there's now 2 of these, I would get 2 of either or any of those resources, metal and or energy. This one allows you to build either a metal collector or an energy collector on a world that you occupy, and occupying means you have at least one structure there. In this case, you don't have to even pay any cost to do so. These next 3 are pretty self-explanatory. Gain 1 resource of your choice for each of your allies that you have, gain 2 energy and 2 metal, and gain 1 resource of your choice for every one of the mission cards that you have in your hand. The last module is alternate star tiles. If you remember, there are 5 star tiles that are possibly used up to a 5-player game to set up and have the world tiles be built around throughout the game. Well, now there are 6 alternate tiles. So you're going to take all 6 of these and all 5 of the base ones, and you're going to shuffle them and place them in the draw bag. You'll set up as normal, pulling 1 star per player, and the ones that are not pulled will get taken out of the bag and placed back in the box. Now these have different effects. This one, each metal collector gets you 2 metal instead of 1. Here, a colony gets you 3 points of control instead of just 2. Here, you get 2 energy instead of just 1 for an energy collector. This one can only have 4 world tiles around it. Notice that there's only 4 things coming out. These 2 are sort of blocked. And for these 2 tiles, there's 2 specific worlds that you cannot place around that star. And in that case, if you draw a tile that you cannot place, you'd simply discard to the box and redraw another tile. Well, I hope this helped you dive right into Horizon's Extermination and get to the fun quicker than you normally would if you had to read the rulebook yourself. Now, if you have any further questions about the rules, I've placed a link below me in the description of this video, and that's the best place to ask them, because not only will I be notified, but so will Daily Magic Games. This has been the Game Boy Geek, helping you find and enjoy the next board game you'll love.